Hey guys, what is up? My name is Bob and Fishy, and we are back with some more WWE pay-per-view predictions. So, yeah, today we're doing Backlash. Backlash 2017 specifically, because I think I did Backlash 2016 like a year ago or whatever. Anyways, yeah. So let's see. We are going to be looking at the matches from top to bottom, or actually bottom to top, because we're starting with the pre-show and stuff. But anyways, we're going to be looking at that. I'm going to be deciding who I think is going to win. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's go ahead and start off with the kickoff match. And I'm going by WWE.com. So if there are any matches that aren't already announced that end up being on the show, then blame them. But I'm going with what they've announced. So kickoff show, Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. Haven't we seen this match before? Ty Dillinger's going to win. Like, there's no reason for him not to. Next up, this is actually a match I'm looking forward to, right? Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. So, you guys know Eric Rowan's my boy. So, I'm going to pick him. I'm going to tell you that right now. But, yeah, this I think it'll be a good match. Like, Harper's really, 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 really good. Like, everybody knows that. And Rowan, if he gets some time, I think he can actually, like, keep up. At least for a while. Like, he's got enough moves that he can do stuff. And he's not like, oh, I'm not going to sell for this guy. Like, you know, he'll sell for anybody, and, you know, like, especially Harper, because they're, like, bros. Yeah, I think that the match will be good. I genuinely do. I think that, you know, it's a hoss fight, I think, as JR would say. But, yeah, I think, both of these guys are going to step up their game, and they're going to show why they're, like, you know, assets and stuff. So, yeah, and I think Eric Rowan will win, because he's my boy. Next match is Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. Now, I've been on the Baron Corbin hype train recently, and I think he's definitely going to win. Like, they're keeping him really strong. They're giving him a bunch of accolades and stuff, and they're really not having him lose to anybody below main event level, which I like. I think that's how you know, show that a guy's in main event level, is, like, you know, have them eventually start, like, beating main eventers and stuff. Like, you know, be at that level, and then eventually kind of work their way through. And I think that he's very good. I do genuinely, like, I love his character work. I love his, like, you know, little kind of personality tics and mannerisms in the ring. Yeah, I think he'll win. I mean, I like him, and I think he'll win and don't necessarily go together, but I like him, and I also think he'll win. So yeah, I think it'll be a good match, obviously, because Sami Zayn's in it. Next up, we've got the 6-women tag match, which is not gonna be so good. Prediction time. It's Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch versus Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina. Okay, so on the bad guy side of this match, there is one person who I trust to actually have a good match, and that is Natalya. They are literally the most underpowered group of bad guys since, like, the League of Nations. Nah, honestly, the League of Nations were probably better because they had Rusev. But, like, honestly, like, there's one threat among them. Well, actually, no. Natalya's not even a threat anymore. She's lost to everybody. On the other side, though, Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, like, the only way they're losing is if one of them goes bad. But they've all been, like, legitimately beaten down by the opposing side. So there's no reason for them to join them. Like, even if, like, there's no logic behind that, in my opinion. So I can't see it happening, and I think that they'll just win. Like, Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch will just win. Like, there's no reason for them not to. Like, at all. And then they can just go back to fighting each other afterwards. But, like, yeah, that's, they should just steamroll them, honestly. Anyways, next matchup is the Tag Team Championship match, the Usos versus Breezango. So, Usos have had a career resurgence since they actually started getting TV time again. And honestly, their promos have been decent, and they're very, like, they've honestly, like, they're very good at being heels. So I think they're pretty good. They definitely deserve to be champions. However, Breezango, specifically the Tyler Breeze half of that, is one of my favorite wrestlers. Like, Tyler Breeze is one of my favorites. I always thought he was just great. The whole Breezango thing, originally I was less than hyped about it, but, like, Especially with the Fashion Police videos, like the Fashion Files, they've won me back over with them, and I really, really hope they win. So I'm cheering for them. Yeah, go Breezango. Next up is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. Okay. So here's the thing. Dolph Ziggler is irrelevant. This should have been The Miz. And Shinsuke Nakamura should beat both of them at the same time. Nah, I'm kidding. Nakamura should be fighting The Miz. He debuted against The Miz, and then they just like, oh yeah, Miz isn't here anymore. Dolph Ziggler is here. But like, they just gave Ziggler Miz's promos, so he's like really flat. I don't know. I don't think he's anywhere near as like, he's not at the level that Nakamura is. Nakamura just needs to like crush him. Like, it shouldn't. In my ideal world, it wouldn't even be competitive. Like, it would just be like, immediately go out, kick to the stomach, Kinshasa, win. Like, that's how that match should go. It won't. Like, Ziggler's going to get in offense, and it's going to be bad. But, like, Nakamura should just crush him. And then, last match. Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. Now, okay, so here's the thing. I actually don't hate the whole Jinder Mahal situation. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe this guy is getting a push, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't hate it. Like, I think that it's good that they're, like, pushing different people. They could have given it, like, an extra month to, like, build. Like, have him beat some people and then just, you know, like, be a main eventer rather than just, like, lose to everybody and then it's like, now you're competing for the title. But his opponent is Randy Orton, which means the match is going to stink. Like, if we're being honest, like, Randy Orton, his matches do one thing. They get the RKO over. They don't do anything for his opponent. They don't do anything for him. It's all about the RKO. And honestly, I think if they were going to push Jinder seriously, they wouldn't have him start out against Randy Orton, because Randy Orton is not good at making new stars. Like, John Cena is, Randy Orton is simply not, which is a shame, but I think Jinder Mahal is going to win. And I think this is, like, you know, a weird one. Initially, I didn't. I've heard some rumors about, like, oh, they might do it, but, like, you know, those, you got to take them with a grain of salt, right? But I honestly think Randy Orton is such a crummy champion. And, like, everybody knows it. And, like, I'm going to get so much hate for saying this, because I know there are a lot of Randy Orton fans, but he's not that good. Like, his matches are all exactly the same. He never does anything that he hasn't done a million times before. His matches are so, like, monotonously slow. And in the end, the only thing that anybody cares about is seeing an RKO, which never puts his opponent away, right? Like, it always takes two. I honestly don't think that Randy Orton has anything to offer as champion. So I think that Jinder Mahal, if they're going to give him a shot, right now is by far the best time to do it. Like, take the belt off Randy. He does not, you know, like, deserve it. And put it on Jinder. So that's what I'm saying. And hopefully Jinder isn't doing steroids, because that would be bad. Don't do steroids, kids. But yeah, that's my predictions. That's all the matches they've got, which isn't bad. Hopefully the show won't be super duper long. Like, I watched WrestleMania, and it was awful. Some of these shows are like, that's why I barely even watch Raw anymore. I'll look at, like, the replays on, like, you know, people's channels and stuff, but I do not want to watch, like, 3 hours of Raw. But anyways, yeah, hopefully the show will be decently short, but decently good. And, yeah. Go Eric Rowan. Later, guys.